Hello, everybody, and welcome back as we are here once again. I am Tegan, it's King Lion Blair. He is Brandon B. Major Bigsby, and this is Sports Gamer GG. It is ECL Lite Finals Games 1 to 3, Brandon.
And Tegan, happy to be here with you. We got to call some action in the Neo division yesterday. Once again, congratulations to HC Jessen on their championship. But now we get to cover the Lite, Philadelphia Academy, and Mora IK. This is going to be a really fun series, and I'm sure that we have a lot of people in the chat that have been looking forward to this as well. It should be a lot of fun to call.
As we might as well dive right into things and take a look at the bracket, Brandon. As I know, I'm very excited, and obviously a big congratulations to HC Jessen, like you said. But have a look at this playoff tree, as this is deep with Philadelphia going against Mora IK.
And this is going to be very interesting. You see how both of these teams got here. A pretty interesting road for Philadelphia. Obviously, they were the 1 seed. They take out 15 seed Alliance HT in 6 and then find a way to sweep the 10th seed in Hunters to get to this point. But Mora IK, a little bit of a tougher road. They had to kind of punch above their weight in terms of the seeding. A 5-game series win versus Linköping, 4-1 against the 4 seed, and then Prima Esport in the semifinals. So maybe what some would consider 2 upsets to get to this point. It'd be really interesting to see how Philadelphia does against a team that's been really hot and has been able to beat these teams that have been in the higher end of the standings.
As Mora has been the underdog the whole way through, as you heard Brandon talk about it a little bit, they've been that lower or higher seed, all the way to the finals. So nothing they haven't seen before, Brandon.
Yeah, and it's so impressive with Mora IK because you can see in the latest results, there was only one game that was decided by a goal, that 4-3 win in overtime. Everything else, 2-goal games, and then that 5-goal win that clinched the series for them. While Philadelphia, they were able to get the sweep, but it was in pretty close fashion. 3 games decided by 1 goal. So this is going to be pretty interesting. Is Mora IK going to continue that, I don't want to say Cinderella story, obviously a very good team to be the 6th seed, but are they going to continue to beat these teams that have been in the top flight of the standings, or will Philadelphia continue their dominant form that they have seen all season long, being that number 1 seed?
It is a David versus Goliath matchup, Brandon, and let's have a look at them as we know that this is going to be an absolute battle, and it is Mora ahead in the goals for category, Brandon, with 63 against Thiela's 52, which is a little bit of a surprising number, but I think we have to talk a little bit about that penalty kill.
Oh, yeah, the PK has been dominant for both of these teams. It's ironic. They have the same exact number at 84.21%, but it's interesting because Mora IK, they've struggled a little bit on that power play. Like Fila, not bad at all. You try to hit that 30% marker higher more times than not, but 27.66%, they're converting on about a fourth of their power play opportunities. So definitely not bad. Well, Mora IK a little bit under that. So the special teams could be interesting to watch. Who steps up in that department could be a very big teller on who takes this series.
Definitely, Brandon. And I think that Mora IK, as they're showing on that left-hand side, is a score and get scored on mentality as long as we're putting more in than the other team, where you see on the Fila side, that is a pretty big goal differential on that right-hand side. So now that we've had a look at the stats for either side, why don't we have a look at who's going to be playing here, Brandon, as we have Mora on the right-hand side, and it's going to be Andreas at center with Kaldimovic on left wing, Bror on the right wing, on lefty ZNK with Amnesia as his partner on the right hand side, and Yeke in between the pipes.
Yeah, and that's a really good Mora lineup. You can see why they have been so good throughout this playoff run, but they're going to run into a Philadelphia Academy team that is really good in their own right. Saro, Mikase, and Rutsa on the forward trio, and then Maestrofi and Ipana on defense. And that defense team, and that's going to be something to look out for since we talked about that goals against. And speaking of goals against, that has a lot to do with the goaltending. Tapu in net for this Fila Academy team. And Tegan, these teams so deep. A lot of talent for both of these sides. It's going to be a lot of fun to see who steps up, whether it be the forwards, the defense, the goaltending. A lot to look at with both of these two sides.
We're going to have a look at the two that are going to be stepping up to face each other in the opening face-off here, Brandon, as we have Mikasi and Andreas.
Yeah, and you know what interests me is how you can kind of see the goals for that differential that we saw between these two teams, that's really telling between these two centers. A 17-point difference in favor of Andreas Kakin compared to Mikasi. 45 points to 28, 27 assists, 18 goals for Andre Kakin. And it's been absolutely wild to see the production as he's had. But what's really standing out to me even more so that we could look out for, Tegan, that face-off percentage. Mikasi 56.7% compared to 47.9 for Andreas. So that's going to be something to look out for, maybe, especially when you get to those defensive to offensive zone face-offs. Will that be an advantage for Philadelphia in this game? Gonna have to wait and find out, but definitely could be something that could be a factor.
Cassie has pulled up with 4 game-winning goals as well, Brandon. And then we pop over to take a look at these wingers that go head-to-head for Mora, Kaldimovic, and Bror. And then for Fila, Saro, and Rutsa.
Yeah, and it's going to be a lot of fun. The two wingers that will be on the same side, and Zardo and Bror, those are the guys that I'm personally really looking for. Number 1 and number 2 in goals in the playoffs. Bror being at that number 1 spot, and Zardo being right behind them. And not only that, but both of these guys have good wingers next to them, Kaldimovic and Rutsi. So this is going to be interesting. Both wingers have had a lot of success for these two teams, and it even goes to show you, especially with Mora, because they are such a good goal-scoring side. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Fila going to have their hands full on that defensive end, but do not doubt their forward core. They can put the goals in the net when they're on and popping.
And it might be the forward core that does that, but this is the defensive core that's going to look to shut them down, as we have for Mora, ZNK, and Amnesia on your left-hand side with Maestrofi and Ipana on the right.
And watch out for Maestrofi if things come into clutch time, because this is a guy that, interestingly enough, 4 game-winning goals at left D for Fila Academy. It's not often that you see that. He has 9 goals on this playoff run as well, but he's a guy that can put the puck in that a little bit, so it's going to be interesting to see how he looks here offensively in this game. But I think the defense is what's really going to be the teller in the series. It's so interesting because Philadelphia Academy, they've had so much success on the defensive end this playoff run. We saw it a little bit earlier, just 27 goals allowed and what's around 20 to 21 games played. That has really been where they have made their money in this playoff run, and it's going to be a lot of fun to see if that continues against a Mora IK team that's been so good offensively, and that is what's driven them to this point. So a strength versus a strength, always fun to see who is going to prevail. That's going to be the question.
As the head-to-head in goalies here is Tapu been very good for Philadelphia on your right-hand side, but hey, so is Yeke on your left for Mora.
And we saw yesterday a battle between goaltenders, Tegan, and we're going to see another one here today. These two guys, their stats are nearly identical. You see both Tapu and Yeke around that 85 save percentage mark, both under 2 goals against in their games, and obviously both of them with 16 wins to get to this point. But it's going to be a lot of fun to see which two of these goalies can make those big saves and show up big when their team needs them. We have seen so many times throughout our different playoffs and final series that we have covered throughout the ECL Elite that one big save can really be the difference in your team winning or losing a game, and it can even come and turn into some plays for some of your forwards and defensemen on the other end. How many times have we seen big saves turn into opportunities and goals on the other side of it? So both of these two goalies, they're going to have their work cut out for them, but both with a lot of talent, and both have showed all season long that they're plenty of capable of stepping up at that big stage.
Just amazing stats on either side, Brandon, as I believe we will get quite the battle. And we've got our prices of our winners on the screen, and there's a lot up for grabs here, Brandon. His first place is going to be walking away with 447 euros. Second place is going to be walking away with 298 euros. And then there's a bronze matchup as well for 198 euros a side.
Yeah, and obviously these teams would not mind getting a little bit of money in their pockets, but they want to come home with that championship as well. You look at a team at Mora IK, they would love to bring home a championship in what has been just a stellar playoff run for them. While Philadelphia Academy, they've been waiting for this moment. They're finally here. They've had a dominant season, lost only 2 games in the regular season. Let's see if they can do it, Tegan. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
And you can win a championship too, is make sure you head over and sign up for the ECL, as we are started here for our ECL Lite finals. Fila against Mora. And it's going to be Fila in the white jerseys, Mora in the dark jerseys. Puck is going to be moved out now by Mora. Or sorry, by Fila. My mistake is Mora is in the dark. Fila in the dark jerseys. Mora in or Fila in the white jerseys. Mora in the dark jerseys. My mistake is getting the sheets figured out here. As here goes Fila up the left hand side. Sato tried to pass that one across. It's going to be taken out the other way by Mora. Puck is going to be dumped down low. Nice play. It's fought for behind the net. It's going to be a tie up there, Brandon, and that is going to be a penalty as the puck was nowhere near on that one.
Yeah, so now a chance for Field to maybe get something going here early. This power play opportunity in a game that's been pretty stagnant so far. Not too many chances for either side, but Philadelphia Academy, we talked about that power play against a really good PK and Mora IK. We'll see who prevails here in this first battle of the series.
Things get started out early here in the ECL Lite Finals. Face-off is going to be won here by Mora. Little give and go play that doesn't connect. Here's Kalimovic back to the point, and that one's robbed as well. Look at these one-timers coming in. Kalimovic had a chance in the slot there, but he was poked off, and that puck finally gets sent all the way down the ice there, Brandon.
Very encouraging start to this power play, though, for Philadelphia. Great puck movement, just a few block shots there from Mora IK, denying some chances.
As Mora IK comes in, they are a step offside, and Mora looking very good here, starting things off on the power play, Brandon.
Yeah, they took that penalty a little bit early, but nevertheless, the defensive parts of things looking rather solid so far for Mora IK. We talked about that penalty kill being at that 84% mark. Well, you can see why, despite Fila getting some opportunities, getting some space, Mora IK not allowing that quality shot on that.
Roar making a nice passing play to get into the zone there for Mora, but it's dumped all the way back down. Mora starts from their own zone. There's an errant pass, goes all the way down to Fila. They don't mind that, Brandon. They dump it down. They get their man back out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey as that puck gets moved out here by Mora. As we get a goal there, Brandon. As we get started early.
Yeah, and that is a big goal there to get things started early there for Mora IK. They kill off that penalty, and then immediately, just a few minutes after they get back to 5-on-5, they come in, score a goal, and do a great job of taking this early lead. It's so important to get that early momentum going, and Mora IK does it right there with 11:07 to go in the first.
All right, so my mistake there is sheets are backwards here. We got Mora in the white jerseys, Fila in the dark jerseys. So that was Fila that got the early power play there, Brandon. And they are going to get back to work after Mora gets an early goal. As we get a power play. As we get a power play here, Brandon, as Philadelphia goes to the box.
Yeah, we saw Mora IK go to the box earlier. Now Fila going to do the same here. This is going to be interesting to see how this goes. We saw Fila, they were not able to convert on their power play the first time. Now Mora going to get a chance to do so on their own. We'll see how that affects things.
Puck picked up now and dumped all the way down the ice. And puck's going to be moved through. In comes Brandon. This is a good play, a good start to this game.
Yeah, and Mora IK trying to get a little bit of puck movement here on this power play. Kind of similar to what Fila did there on their first attempt, just getting some puck movement, but not able to get any quality shots on that due to defensive efforts. As a chance there, and yet again, Tegan, just another good defensive play by Philadelphia. We said that these power plays and penalty kills for both of these two teams, the special teams, could be a factor for both these two sides, and right now it looks like the PK is what's prevailing, as we're going to get another penalty here, a tripping call on Philadelphia. So Mora IK going to get an extended power play and maybe a little bit of 5-on-3 time here as well.
We're just getting everything sorted out in production here. We are sorry about that, as we are as there's another goal from Mora there, Brandon.
And that is huge for Mora to get this kind of start up 2-0 now here in the first period. That is a big goal, none other than the left winger in Kaudumovic, who gets the goal right there. And you can see it there, Tegan. We talked about the special teams, and Mora able to capitalize on their power play right there. A great set play, quick passes between the three forwards, and they capitalize to go up 2-0. And now Philadelphia Academy gonna search for some answers. Still a lot of time, but don't want Mora IK to get too much momentum going here for themselves, because they are hard to stop when they do.
All right, so now we are watching from Fila side as we have Fila in the dark jerseys, Mora in the light jerseys. This is the ECL Lite Finals, Brandon. I finally have my head screwed on correctly. And up the right-hand side, the puck is going to be moved out by Fila. Puck held in at the point. This is good puck movement here, Mikasi. Back to the point to Maestrophi. Over to Rutsa. Looking for a pass through the middle, but that one's going to be picked off by Mora, and they go out the other way with a 2-0 lead here. It's Mora down in the left-hand corner. Bumped off the puck and hit hard, and that puck's going up the left-hand boards. Here comes Fila into the middle. Shot is on. And a nice save there by Yeke. That one is going to be intercepted and back out to the neutral zone. Here's Fila working the puck out. They need to get back into this here, Brandon.
Yeah, it's been pretty stagnant here for Fila in this first period. Mora IK did a great job capitalizing on that power play and then doubling their lead just a few minutes later. But now Fila going to have to coordinate a response here as we near the end of the first.
Puck moved around in the offensive zone here by Fila. They get a shot on, and that takes us here to the intermission.
And Mora IK, dominant in that first period, took that early penalty, but did not let that stop them from going back in, getting a power play chance, and then capitalizing on it and then scoring yet again just a few minutes after. So an early lead for Mora IK, and Tegan, we're just kind of seeing why they've been so good offensively throughout this ECL playoff run for them, just being able to create space and capitalize on their chances when they have the puck on their stick. You can see just a few shots on net for them, but every time they have the puck on their stick, it just feels like they have that opportunity and they capitalize on it.
And that is for sure, Brandon. We want to apologize for that first period there. We are having a little bit of technical issues behind the scenes here, but we seem to get things sorted out here, Brandon. And you know who has gotten things sorted out is Mora there in the first period with a couple of big goals.
Yeah, and you can see why, just like we said, just the ability for them to be able to capitalize on their chances. Only 3 shots on net, a little bit over a minute and 20 seconds of time on attack, but it doesn't matter if you don't have that many chances if you're able to capitalize whenever you do get them. And Mora IK, they've done a great job at that all playoff run long. It's why they have those 62 goals for. We're just getting a nice glimpse of that here in the first period. But Philadelphia Academy, they're going to have to search for some answers here because right now, just not a lot going for them.
As Mora drives into the zone, it comes behind the net, but puck is going to be scooped up by Fila. That shot is on. That's a great save there by Yeke as he feels that puck early in the second period. Good job by Mora in the defensive zone to move that puck out here, Brandon. Is a nice little play on the right-hand side to try and gain entry, and they do. Dumped in. Picked up by Fila, and they turn around and go the other way. Puck brought into the zone here by Fila. They look to move that one down low. It's wrapped around behind the net. Backhand wraparound is we see a lot of those go in, Brandon. It's loose again, and a shot sails wide there by Sorrow. Puck behind the net. Rutsa out to the middle. Sorrow back to the point, and that shot on by Maestrophi is going to be saved. Sorrow back to Mikasi. Mikasi looks over to Rutsa, but it's picked up. Mora trying to just get that puck into Fila territory as they were trapped in their own zone for quite a while, Brandon.
Yeah, that was probably the most encouraging possession we have seen for Fila Academy in the last 10 to 15 minutes of game time as Mora with a chance right there, Tegan, really close to being 3-0.
Puck is going to be brought out now by Fila. 3-on-2 if they're quick. Left-hand side, Sardo trying to bring it in. Moves it out front. Shot is on another big save. Oh, a big shot by Rutsa, and he's robbed there by Yeke. Is not only is Mora's goaltending on their head, their forwards are playing great too, Brandon.
Yeah, and Yeke has been absolutely amazing back there so far. A few big saves here in this period, but Philadelphia starting to push back a little bit would be huge if they could capitalize and get a goal in the next few minutes.
Puck's going to be brought in on the left-hand side. Shot on. That's a great save there by Yeke. Puck back to the point. Ipana down low to Mikasi. Looking out front. It's loose in front. And oh, it slides past as Mikasi had a great opportunity, but didn't get enough on it there, Brandon.
Really close there from Mikasi, and we kind of talked about Philadelphia starting to get things going. They've had a few chances, but Yeke just not letting anything go past him right now. You can just tell he is locked in and activated right now. We'll see if Philadelphia can get something in, but man, Yeke, a really tough goalie to beat, and he looks like he is not stopping here in this game one.
Puck picked up in front there is going to be blocked. Great job by Mora as they're doing it in both ends of the ice now. They come down 3-on-2. That pass across ends up going behind. Puck is back at the point, wrapped all the way back down low. Andreas behind to Kaudimovic. Kaudimovic has it poked off his stick, but he gets it right back. Kaudimovic, skating in, looking for a pass across. He's bumped off by Ipana. Goes over to his partner, Maestrofi, and up the left-hand side to Saro. Back to Maestrofi, and he dumps that puck in. He's even giving chases. He activates from the point as Fila looks to build on something here, Brandon. Good job on the right-hand side is Rutsa. That puck is going to be jarred loose. Puck behind the net. Tripping call for Mora. Fila is going to get to build on this, Brandon, and go to the power play.
And this could be huge for Fila Academy. We're kind of talking about how they're starting to get things going here in the last about 8 to 10 minutes now. It feels like Mora IK have barely been in the offensive zone here in the second period, but now Philadelphia, they get that chance to get that extra guy compared to Mora IK. Short-handed now for Mora and what's been a successful penalty kill, but you have to wonder with the way Philadelphia Academy have played here, the way they've really started to generate some offense, can they maybe capitalize and bring this to a one-goal game?
Puck is going to be poked over on the right-hand side and sent all the way down the ice. That's a good start on the kill by Mora. Here goes Fila. Mikasi over to the right-hand side looking for Rutsa, but it's going to be on the left-hand side for Saro. It's poked off his stick. And it's loose in the left-hand side. Here's Rutsa. Rutsa trying to slide one through. Can't connect with anybody. Amnesia tries to dump that one out. And Amnesia picks it up for Mora, but it turned around and a big shot on by Saro. And here's Mikasi, right inside for Rutsa. He fires, and that's saved by Yeke again. Mikasi shoots, saved again. It's loose and picked up and dumped out by Mora with under a minute to go in the second period, Brandon.
And right now, Yeke has looked near unbeatable in this game. He has come up with big save after big save after big save. Fila could easily have this tied up at 2-2 if he does not make some of the saves he has made. This is actually really encouraging if you're Mora IK.
And that'll take us to the end here, Brandon, of period number 2, and Mora has really turned things on.
Yeah, and I think the story of that second period has to be the play of their goaltender in Yeke, the saves that he was able to make, and you kind of saw that Philadelphia Academy, they were starting to play well, they were starting to generate some offense, something we didn't see as much from them in the first period, and you can see it in the stats. If I saw that correctly, 16 shots and 5 minutes of time on attack, and most of that is here in the second period. They only had around 4 or 5 shots in the first period and a little bit over 2 minutes of time on attack, if I'm correct. So Philadelphia, they're playing well, just a hot goaltender in Yeke that just refuses to be denied right now. It has been absolutely amazing to see him work and see him play the way he has. We'll see if Philadelphia can break things through, but right now, Yeke just looking like an unstoppable force in that.
16 massive saves, Brandon, here in the ECL Lite Finals at Sports Gamer GG. That puck is going to be brought in. You see your respective lineups for Mora and Fila in your bottom left and right hand corners. Puck is going to be brought in now. That one's sent around the boards by Mora. They look to get the puck out, but it's picked up and worked out by Fila. Here's Mikasi as he spins. Gets it over to the right-hand side. Fila trying to work the puck, and they get another shot on Yeke with a huge save. Back at the point, that one shot on. It goes off a body and slides through, and Yeke had to be sharp.
And that's another great save there from Yeke. Had to be sharp, like you said. That was a sneaky chance there from Philadelphia Academy, but man, you just kind of have to wonder if you're the team in black and orange, when are you going to be able to beat these guys? 17 shots on net, over 5 minutes time on attack, yet you still were stuck at that 0. It's not to their own doing. Just a great goaltending performance right now from Yeke. We'll see if he can keep it up, but right now, I do not see Philadelphia Academy beating him with the way he is playing that.
Yeah, it's nothing against Fila here as Mikasi comes in, as they've been doing a great job, about 17, 18 shots as they come in now. Sato back to the point, and that shot is blocked. And if they don't get those shots on, they are being blocked by Mora as well, Brandon. So, you know, a tip of your cap to this defense from Mora as here comes Fila. Another gorgeous passing play into the middle gets blocked by Mora defense. Mikasi comes in, tries a shot on. That one's blocked. Amnesia throws that one up the wing, and we'll have a 2-on-1 the other way. Here comes Mora, and they score, but that one's going to be called back after that pass in front. Was a nice one, Brandon.
Yeah, it would have been a big goal there from Mora IK. I wouldn't have seen Philly coming back there from 3-0 down, but goal is going to be disallowed, and it'll stay at 2-0. But I think regardless, Mora IK feeling pretty good about where things stand right now. It's just 12:42 to go. They have a 2-goal lead. Their goaltending has been absolutely amazing with Yeke between the pipes, and right now, I mean, Philadelphia Academy just kind of have to wonder, like I said earlier, what can you do to beat this guy? He's been absolutely amazing right there. You kind of wonder if they almost just kind of get to a point where they maybe just get some tip plays or hope for a rebound with shots on that.
And there was one of them, Brandon, as there was a shot on by Mikasi. Rutsa down low to Mikasi. Back to the point of Maestrofi. He gets bumped off of the puck. Is battling his Bror. Pass in front's going to be picked off. Good defense once again by Mora, and they clear that up the left-hand side. Here they come into the zone. That one's going to be wrapped around behind the net. Good defense there by Fila as they come back to help out their D. As that puck's going to be carried up and through. Here's Sato, fired on. Another big save by Yeke. As the cycle starts for Fila, but they don't get much of it. It's going to be taken away by Mora, and here goes Kalimovic. Kalimovic wraps that one around, giving goal play, 2 shots on, and they're robbed by Tapu. Throws that out the right-hand side. Ipana works out for Fila. Ipana into the middle to Mikasi, back to Ipana. They've played catch, and they go over to the left-hand side to Saro. That puck is stolen by Mora. Mora trying to get that puck out. They'll get a 2-on-2 here. Back checking his Fila hard, and Rutsa takes that one away for Fila. Rutsa trying to sauce that one over to his partner, Saro. Amnesia takes it and works that out for Mora. And we get a clap play. Brandon, backhand goal! As the right winger, Bror, puts one in.
And that was a great play there from Mora IK. The Omaha play, we may not see it a ton in the EU, but we see it a lot in the NA, Tegan. And that was just a well-executed play there from Mora IK, using that Omaha pass, that slap pass on the board, and it was perfectly played there. You can see it right there. Bror just was jetting off to get that one in. It was well read by Mora IK's force to get that one off. And now 4:50 to go, up by 3. Have to assume that they will be able to lock this game one in, especially with the way their goaltending has been back there.
I can't agree more, Brandon, as I'm super impressed by this Mora team. They have really been putting the pressure on as they get him in and get another one. It's going to be Bror again. Back-to-back goals for him and Mora.
And Mora IK saying, we're not done yet, everybody. That was a huge play. And if there were any doubts about a victory here for Mora, that might put to rest right there. And yet again, Tegan, it was the right winger in Bror that gets that one, the same one that finished that Omaha play a couple of plays ago, gets that one right there. A big play from him, and Mora IK well on their way to taking this 1-0 series lead.
No surprise there, Brandon. In playoffs, Bror leading in goals, leading in points, and it has 8 game winners in playoffs alone. Huge clutch player to his team. As Mora brings that down as whoa, we get a little bit of a jumpy puck that we've seen so many times this week, Brandon. Very unfortunate as that puck gets brought in. Here's Mikasi. Drops that one back, and We've got about a minute to go in the third period. 4-0 here in game one of this best-of-7 series here in the ECL Lite Finals. As that puck's brought in on the right-hand side here for Sports Gamer GG.
Yeah, and 53.3 left, Mora up by 4, and just a great overall performance from them. They really got a little bit of everything that they needed. They had some great defensive plays. They had great goaltending, obviously, from Yeke, and whenever they needed to score, despite not having a lot of opportunities, I feel like they always were able to capitalize when they had those chances. We talked about them having that ability to do that in the first period, and that really continued on for them in the third. Whenever they had that chance, they usually capitalized on it, and they're going to win game one here because of it.
They're definitely going to win game one because of it, Brandon, as we have Ipana on the right-hand side. Works it down in their own zone for Fila. Ipana moves that one up to Sorrow. Ipana just forces that one in deep. And so many shots by Fila, Brandon, is they definitely put an effort on Yeke as a goaltender. But Yeke just played absolutely fantastic here in game one.
Yeah, you kind of have to feel for Fila. You feel like they played well enough to win this game. They had a lot of opportunities. They had good shots on net. It's not like they just were in the zone and didn't get any opportunities. It's just the goaltending from Yeke was really amazing for Mora IK. Then you add in something that you mentioned earlier, some of the blocked shots in front of him as well. Mora IK, they did such a good job at not allowing too many open looks to get on Yeke, and like we said, any of the ones that did, he was able to save and be in front of. So a great collective effort for Mora IK gets them a victory and a shutout, a 4-0 victory for them over Fila Academy in game one.
And that is a massive victory. Is this underdog team, Brandon, looking very good? 4 goals against a very, very strong Fila team. That is a statement game here in game one.
A team that has played in 4 rounds and has only allowed 27 goals against. So Fila, they've been dominant on the defensive end. And like you said, Tegan, to be able to put 4 goals on a team that has been so solid defensively, a team that has that defense, has had great goaltending as well from Tapu, it really is encouraging to come into this game one, play the way they did. And not only that, but the 20-save effort from their goaltending in Yeke there as well. So a great overall effort from Mora, a well-deserved victory, but you feel like if you're Fila Academy, you deserved a little bit of a better result with the way you played, just unfortunately was not in the cards for them in this game.
20 shots for Fila Academy, Brandon. That's 20 big saves for Yeke. That is his 9th shutout of the playoffs. How clutch is that when you have a goaltender behind you and you're an underdog team that, you know, he's basically had almost a shutout in about 45% of the games he's played in playoffs?
It means so much, because what's so great about having that back there is that even when you as a player make that one little mistake, it's going to happen. Mistakes are a part of the game, no matter how great the player. When you do have that breakdown, when you do have that mistake, you have the confidence that you have a goaltender behind you that can step up, bail you out, and make that big save. We talked about it in the opening, Tegan, with both Tapu and Yeke, that both of these guys have that ability to make that big save that can really change the way a game goes. We even saw on that Omaha attempt that they had that went for the 3rd goal, it came after really what was a great push from Fila Academy, where Yeke made some saves and they turned it into a chance on the other end after a few big saves and scored. Well, if Yeke allows the goal there, it doesn't happen. So it's so valuable to have that goaltending back there. It makes you feel more comfortable as a player. You feel confident that no matter what shot goes on, you have a goaltender that has the ability to save it. And Yeke did that and then some there in that game one. Definitely the MVP of that one for Mora IK. But we'll see how Fila responds. They played well. Unfortunately, just couldn't get on the board. But I think still some encouraging signs that we saw there from them in that first game. Just have to see how they can beat Yeke here in game 2 as they hope to tie this thing up.
Yeah, I think that was an urgency goal on that clap play, Brandon, where you're absolutely right. Yeke made 3 or 4 monstrous saves. You're trying to get your defense activated, and it just doesn't end up happening for you. As we're going to activate a few words from our sponsors, and we will be right back.
Kuoret on vaan sellainen, että kuoret on. Pääasiat nakit on.
Wilhelm Werneri. Kuoreton tai kuoret on.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. ECL Lite Finals, Brandon, and we are ready for Game 2 action in this best-of-7 series. And there's our teams all ready to go, and I'm sure Fila is fired up, wanting to get 20 more shots, maybe even 40 with the way Yeke played.
Yeah, and I think if you're Philadelphia, you can't really harp too much on that game one. Really, when you face a goaltender that's so hot playing the way Yeke was, there's not really a lot that you can do other than try to turn the page, focused on this next game, and make any adjustments that you feel that you can, and maybe find a way to beat Yeke. But I think you have to give Mora IK's defense a little bit of credit as well, and we kind of touched on it a little bit in game one. They blocked a lot of shots there from Philadelphia Academy. They had 20. They could have easily been a little bit further than 25 to 27 if not for some of those blocked attempts. So Philadelphia will see what they do to adjust, but Yeke, a man on a mission right now, and Mora IK's defense in front of him playing well as well.
Yeah, and speaking of turning a page, I'd like you to turn a page. Grab your pen and don't forget to sign up for the ECL, as we are open now to all signups. And me and Brandon know it is the best league out there. So make sure you jump in and sign up, and maybe you can be playing in the ECL Lite Finals and have this gorgeous cast put on by Sports Gamer GG. As we are going to dive into game number 2, Fila against Mora. Mora coming out with a 4-0 victory in that game, Brandon. We will keep that watch on Yeke to see how well he does and see if Mora comes out quick and early here. And thank you to our amazing sponsors at Wilhelm, Kovan Lakritsi, ST Hockey, and of course, Sports Gamer. Here we go. Game number 2. You're going to see your respective lineups pop up in your left and right-hand corner of your screen. And I will get this right this time, Chad, I promise, is Philadelphia is going to be in the light jerseys, Mora in the dark jerseys, Philadelphia going north, Mora going south. As here comes Philadelphia. As Mikasi brings it into the backhand, trying to stuff that one in on Yeke. And Brandon, I expect to see that early, but Mora is going to go off to a power play.
Yeah, and who needs to rely on the goaltending when you go in on the other end and get some opportunities for yourselves? You see Yeke getting involved and hearing his name called early, and unfortunately for Fila, taking a penalty right after that opportunity. So we'll see how they respond on the penalty kill, but Mora IK, we saw them get that early lead in the first and never look back. We'll see if they can get a little bit of deja vu here in game 2.
Mora pouring things on already, but Mikasi picks that up behind his net, and he's going to try and get it up the right-hand side for Fila. Good job by Mora to get that right back. As the battle ensued, but it's dumped all the way down, and Mora is going to have to start from their own end here with about a minute left on the power play. Puck through the middle to Andreas. He loses that one, and it's going to be brought in on the right-hand side. Bror. A couple of big goals by him. Here he is with the puck on the left-hand side. Bror, Andreas now below the goal line. Back to Bror. Bror comes across the one-timer. It's free out front with a shot there. And a huge save by Tapu.
Tapu saying enough about Yeke, enough about Mora's goaltending in their 4 goals for in game 1. I can make big saves too. He does so right there on that penalty kill. A great play from Tapu. Another save right there from Tegan.
A huge save there. As we get a face-off here. And that one's poked and just goes wide, Brandon. That was oh so close. With a big opportunity there for Bror off a simple poke check. A one-timer from the point is going to be robbed by Tapu. And I think you're right. Tapu's tired of hearing about it.
Oh yeah, Tapu is stepping up big for this Fila Academy team right now. It just feels like ever since Mora IK got on the power play, they have been pinned into the offensive zone. Tapu is the huge reason that they have not scored right now. We'll see if maybe Fila can turn this around and get something going for themselves. But Tapu saying, enough about the goaltending of Mora. I can step up too. He's done so here in the last 3 or 4 minutes.
And he's made a ton of good saves, only with 14 minutes left on the clock here, Brandon. So in the first 6 minutes of gameplay, he's made about 6 big saves. This puck's going to be brought out here by Fila. They look to build on something for their goaltender. Puck's going to be wrapped around down low. Fila goes to work. It's going to be Sato. Down low to Mikasi. He goes back to the point. Maestrophi shot fired on and blocked. And there's going to be an offensive zone penalty that Fila is not going to be happy with. And Mora is going to go right back to the power play.
Yeah, we're going to see another power play attempt here for Mora. We saw in game 1, they didn't capitalize on their first, but capitalized on their second. They're going to hope that that same thing replicates itself here in game 2, but Fila going to have to stay out of the box here. This is a Mora IK team that, despite not getting a lot of opportunities in game 1, when you give them enough time and you give them enough chances, they will capitalize sooner rather than later, despite some of their struggles on the power play this playoff run. So we'll see if they do that, but Fila going to look to stay out of the box and hope that Tapu continues to play the way he has in that.
There was a couple of great opportunities there already for Mora, as they sure like to move the puck around, as we saw a little bit of a face-off play there that missed the net, and then the one-timer as well, as they set up aggressively. Does Mora. Face-off is going to be won back, though, by Fila, and Ipana goes down, and we're going to get 4-on-4 hockey for about a minute and a half.
And that's big there for Fila to be able to draw that penalty, bring things to 4-on-4, and now you don't allow Mora IK to take advantage on the power play. And not only that, but the offensive faceoffs as well. So we'll see if they can maybe take advantage here. Fila, they've been blanked here through about close to 4.5 periods, I believe. So we'll see what happens, but have to love where you are here for Fila, taking that penalty kill and turning it into an opportunity if they score.
As just as Brandon says, 3.5 periods of being shut out there, Brandon. They come in and get one as a massive goal from the back end on 4-on-4 hockey.
And that is exactly what the doctor ordered for Fila. It couldn't have come at a bigger or better time for them. They finally are able to beat a great goalie in Yeke in this series, and they do so because of that drawn penalty on the penalty kill. A great job from Fila and a great possession there for them to take advantage off of that offensive zone face-off.
You get a little bit of space out there, Brandon. You get a little bit of time, and Fila gets an early goal as they get one and almost another one past Yeke, but it's pulled out by Mora. Obviously, Fila likes the space of 4-on-4 hockey as this puck gets brought out now. Mora going up ice, bringing it in on the left-hand side. Bror, he's bumped off of the puck. Ipana picks that one up and works it out for Fila. Ipana to his partner Maestrophi up the middle to Mikasi, who turns that one over, and it's dumped all the way down. And we're going to get right back to 5-on-5 hockey here in game number 2. It's Mora leading this series, this best-of-7 series, 1-0. It's Maestrophi over to Rutsa. Rutsa tried to go back to reset to his defense. It's going to go all the way back, though, and Mikasi's going to work it up the middle. Drops it for the Ipana. Ipana still holding on, being forced by Mora, and huge hit as let the bodies hit the floor, Brandon, as that was a monster hit to possibly get Mora going.
We don't see it often, but it's fun to watch when those big hits are laid down, especially in a series like this in the finals here in this ECL. And it's so fun to see that happen, and we'll see how Mora can respond. Obviously, they're down 1-0. They haven't been down on the series, and Fila, with the way they were able to dominate the offensive play in game 1, it's going to be interesting to see if they can do that again in game 2. You have to like their chances of maybe being able to take this home. A lot of time to play, but Mora IK going to have to get more on the offensive, being down now in this game.
Back to the point. Here's Maestrophi fired on. That one's going to be blocked in front. Here comes Rutsa with a shot and a huge save by Yeke. And that is a huge save, as this next goal is so important. As that shot is on by Mora, it's just going to be held on by Tapu. But how big was that save at the other end by Yeke?
And that's huge, Tegan, and for the exact reason that you kind of alluded to there, the next goal could be so big for either of these two teams. We saw how big it was in that game 1 where Mora IK had that 2-0 lead and were able to hold on till late in the third period, where they added 2 more goals to their lead. But Fila now with an opportunity to double this lead. They're playing well. They've played well all series long to start out. Just have to find a way to beat Yeke. They've done it once. I know they would not be mad at all if they were able to find a way to do it.
Good job by Mora to kind of stuff at the line, and good pickup by Kaudimovic. Kaudimovic, he takes it into the right-hand corner, tries to move it behind the net there for Bror, as he's been kind of quieted down this game after having a pretty big first game here, as that one's behind the net. Ipana. He's being watched closely by Kaudimovic. He gets that puck ahead. The roots on left-hand side now is Mikasi, but he's in a step offside with 8 to go.
And 8.7 seconds left. Gonna only get one opportunity for whichever team is able to win this faceoff here, especially for Fila being closer to the offensive zone would be huge if they could score a goal here late in the first to increase their lead.
Faceoff is going to be won over to the right-hand side. Poke checked away, and Ipana just takes it all the way back into his own zone, slows things down, and says, boys, let's try again in the second period. That was a pretty good first period here in the ECL Lite Finals, game number 2.
And Teagan, we saw a little bit of everything there in that first period. A few big saves from both Yeke and Tapu. We saw a couple of blocks, a few power plays, and we saw a goal as well. Fila opening the scoring here in game 2 after being blanked in game 1, and I can't imagine how good that feels for them to be able to finally get past Yeke, who has played so well. And something I think you have to credit is Mora, 6 shots on net in the first period, Fila with 4. You kind of see that, like we mentioned a few times throughout this broadcast, despite Mora not really having a lot of zone time, they seem to be able to make the most of it. When they get those chances, they tend to take advantage. They've had some opportunities in this game. We'll see if they can maybe break one through, but I think advantage goes to Fila there after that first period, having the lead, beating Yeke finally, and also really being able to continue the momentum that they had offensively in game 1.
And we will get right back into period number 2. Fila against Mora. Mora leading this best of 7 series 1-0 here in the ECL Lite Finals. You see your respective lineups to the bottom left and right-hand corner of your screen, and Fila comes out early, and it's going to be Mikasi putting one in the back of the net.
And that is exactly what Fila needed in this game. We said that next goal would be huge, and Fila Academy gets it on the stick of Mikasi. That is a huge goal, and nevertheless, starting out the second period, right off of the opening faceoff, they go into the zone, get a great look on Yeke and capitalize on it, and now Fila in a great position up 2-0, but still a lot of time left. We'll see if they can hold on, but like we said, if you're Fila, have to love where things are right now, getting that second goal.
Is Fila feeling happy now after being up 2-0 here, Brandon? Is Mora not able to find the mesh after game number 1? Puck is moved around in the offensive zone by Mora. They give that away to Fila, and Fila is just going to drive right back down the ice. Here goes Ipana. Nice little move to get in. Tried to pass that one into the middle. It's going to be fought off by Mora, and here goes Kaudimovic, wraps that one around. All the way over to his winger partner, Bror, who gives that one away in the middle to Mikasi, who just sends that down low and resets for Fila with 16 to go in the second period. Here's Mikasi. Nice little pass up to Sato. Sato fires! Great save by Yeke, and he's going to hold on.
And now Yeke going to have to be near perfect from this point forward, down 2-0. Mora IK going to have to find a way, and Yeke, he cannot allow any more goals to go past him. As great as he has been all series long to start out, going to have to continue to make big saves here for his team.
Puck is going to be fought out there by Mora defense. And Fila is just going to go back to work here. It's Fila in the driver's seat. Mora really needs to get some momentum going, and this could be their chances. That one's wrapped around behind the net to Bror. Bror, back to the point, gets one right back. Around the net, Andreas to Kaudimovic. Andreas up over Bror. Shot is on, is blocked. And a good job by Ipana to clear that out for Fila. Gonna go all the way down the ice. No icing on the play as that one's chopped up the right-hand side, but picked up there by Rutsa. Rutsa hit hard, but good puck support by Mikasi. Back to the point, and that shot steered away by Yeke once again. Big battle in the left-hand corner now. It's going to be jarred loose by Mora, and they get that puck ahead as they enter the zone. Good passing here by Mora as they move it into the middle. Andreas over on the left-hand side to Bror. Bror looking for a shot on. That one's intercepted by Maestrofi, and the puck's up the right-hand side here for Fila. They dump that one down deep. They just give that one away to Mora. And Mora brings the puck out. Break out on the left-hand side as they try and get into the zone. But this is a good trap here by Fila. We're kind of seeing a reverse game here, Brandon, than we saw in game 1 from these teams.
Yeah, and Fila with a goal there, Teagan. That's a big one.
What a gorgeous goal by Mikasi as he gets another one, Brandon, and it didn't look like much of anything, did it? As he just kind of came down the backside and put a little backhand off the back of the goaltender from that goal line spot, and it's in.
And it's funny how these things go, Tegan. You just said that things had kind of been a bit of a reverse from the first game where Fila was kind of more on the defensive and things were pretty back and forth. And all of a sudden, Fila, they come out of that trap, they get a look offensively, they walk right into the zone, and a great goal there from Mikase, his second of the game. And now Fila in firm control of this game, up 3-0. Mora gonna have to get a goal here and soon.
Puck is going to be brought out here by Fila. Good job as they just take it right back into the zone. Here goes Mora. Mora comes down, toe drag by Kautimovic. He looked to try and put that one through, but couldn't connect. Puck wrapped up the right-hand boards now as Fila trying to get that puck out. Mora just looking to get a goal quickly before the end of the second period. As that puck's brought in, pass across is going to be blocked. Good defense there. As that puck is carried out by Fila. Good job here. Mora bringing it into the zone. That's good help there by Roots for Fila. As Mikasi gets bumped off of the puck. Good puck support as Ipana behind the net. Ipana hasn't poked off his stick. Kautimovic trying to just force that one out front as it slides past. As Tapu had to be sharp getting his leg out. Puck in the right-hand sidewall. That one's forced out front and fought for, but won by Fila. 10 seconds to go. They might have a 2-on-1. It's moved up front. What a pass! And they get another goal. And Maestrophy, activating from the point, gets a feedback door. And it's a 3-0 game.
And Tegan, you could see that play developing right as it was happening. A great job on the counterattack there from Fila. They opened up that space. It was a 3-on-2, and right after that second pass, you saw Kautimovic. He kind of leaned towards the puck carrier and opened that space to make that pass over to Ipana. A great goal and a big chance now for Fila, up 4-0, and this is great for them going into this third period.
They've scored so many goals. I thought it was 3-0. Brandon is. As we get things moved around over here. What a period there by Fila. And, you know, they have just been putting them in the net in buckets. And I think this is a statement game after they got shut out in game one.
Yeah, and I have to correct myself. Maestrophy was the one to get that goal there. It was him at left D that was able to come in and get on the rush with his fellow forwards. But how big is that goal there, Tegan? Obviously, you feel rather good going into the period, up 3-0, but going up 4-0, that is absolutely big going into this third. You can just kind of focus on playing your game, playing mistake-free hockey, and just trying to lock in defensively. Feel as we saw, they really locked in that trap in the neutral zone. Mora not having a lot of success getting into the offensive zone, and they've been able to take advantage of it. It's turned into some offensive opportunities for them in this game too, unlike game one, and they've been able to capitalize on it.
And it's been capitalized on all right as we're looking to get closer into possibly a tie series as we do all the first three games from the ECL Lite Finals. Philadelphia Academy going against Mora here in game number 2, Brandon, as we get an early whistle.
Yeah, Tegan, and I think the big difference here in this game, as we mentioned, is just the ability for Fila to be able to capitalize on their shots. Only 9 shots on net this game. At this point, in game one, they had 16, but they've just been able to take advantage of it, and they've turned good defense into good offense. And Geke, some of the saves that he was able to make in game one, not as much here in game two, because Fila has been able to use the counterattack to get some opportunities. So trying to make it a 5-0 lead here instead of the offensive zone.
Puck is going to be moved out here by Mora. Andreas sends it over to Bror. Bror, what a pass and a huge save by Tapu. It's Brandon, oh boy, even though it's a 4-0 game, Tapu making a statement here and just saying, you know what, you guys talked way too much about Yeke last game.
Yeah, and I think you can't say enough about Tapu's performance in this game. He's made some big saves, especially in the first period where Mora really had a chance to take the momentum and kind of grab it by the horns. Tapu with multiple big saves, and he has continued that on in periods 2 and 3. As now, not only does he make that big save, but it turns into a power play opportunity for Philadelphia. So up 4-0, they get to drain a little bit of time, and maybe if they capitalize, extend this lead to 5.
That face-off is won by Mora. They bring it into the zone. Mikasi's there and gets it over to Maestrophi, who scored that very nice goal earlier. Here's Saro. Back to the point to Mikasi. Back to Saro. Back to Mikasi. Down low. What passing and what a goal by Fila to make it 5-0 as Maestrophi gets another one.
And it's what we've seen from Fila Academy all series long, and their ability to convert on quick passes and open up space for that one player to get that clear look, and they do it again right there on the power play. You see just that nice little setup between the 3 forwards, one behind the net, one on the left side, and then the goal scorer in Maestrophi on the right. A hat trick for him on the power play. It's not something you see often from defensemen, but Maestrophi saying, hey, I can score goals too, and Fila in firm control here of this game too.
Are they ever, Brandon? And what a grab they have on Mora right now. That puck's going to be brought in down low. Kaudimovic spins, goes out front. Nobody was home. Left-hand side, Bror. Kaudimovic out front is a good chance for Andreas, but it's going to be a breakaway the other way. Come in. Oh, the backhand is going to go off the side of the net as that was going to be Saro, who had a great opportunity there, Brandon.
Yeah, and Fila, they're not satisfied with 5-0. They want to keep their foot on the gas pedal and extend this lead even more. Can't say that you blame them. Get that momentum going into game 3. They're absolutely flying right now.
That one's going to be oh so close as it's put in behind the goaltender, as that was a nice little saucer pass by Bror to get it in front, and Roots almost put one into his own net there, Brandon.
Yeah, and obviously it's not going to harm Fila too much if they let a goal in, but never want to give your opposition any momentum going in as they're trying to keep this thing at bay, and a 5-0 lead, 10 minutes left. Fila looking good on both the offensive and defensive ends, and we kind of talked about it a little bit, Tegan. How about the performance we have seen from Tapu? We spent a lot of time talking about Yeke in game 1. Tapu, he is a huge reason that Fila got to the point where he seized the momentum they did in the second period. Have to tip your hat to him and the way he's played net for them.
That shot on Tapu makes another great save. Puck's behind the net. It comes up front, and Tapu, just as Brandon was saying how great he was playing, he makes 2 monstrous saves in front. And now Mora's going to try and crack him once again. Up to the right-hand side, going to be bumped off. Ipana into the middle to Mikasi, left-hand side to Saro. Saro drops that puck from Maestrophi. Look to go back to Saro, but the puck's picked up by Mora, and they go the other way. Up behind the net, Ipana battling as he gets that one. Tried to get it out as Roots are being absolutely forced on the right-hand side. Eventually, Mora comes up with it, and maybe they're just trying to build on something here for the next game, Brandon, is this is a long 7-game series, and they are up by 1, but probably not for long.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing here. Obviously, the result of this one pretty much set in stone, but you never want to lose that momentum as Mora IK break one open.
As what a goal there, is that's going to be a one-timer from the point, and do we ever see a lot of defensive goals in this one, Brandon?
4 between these two teams, and the defenseman saying, hey, we can score a little bit ourselves, and this time it's Zid NK with the goal for Mora IK. That's a nice goal for them. Might not change the result of this one, but never a bad thing to just get one in, get the spirits a little bit higher, and go into game 3 knowing that you were not shut out in this one. As just 5 minutes remaining here in what should be a Fila Academy win in game 2.
I would say that's a fair statement, Brandon, as we've got about 4 minutes to go here. Mora's going to turn that one up, but at least they have something to build on in the next game. Kaudimovic gets hit hard behind the net by Mikasi, back checking, letting them know we've got one more game to play tonight. Keep your head up as Mikasi looks to bring that one in. He doesn't like what he sees, bumped off of the puck, and Mora brings it in. But there's a step offside.
Yeah, and 2:21 to go. Fila just trying to close this thing out, as I'm sure they'll be able to, as you can see the big hit there yet again. And I think for Mora IK, what's going to be really interesting here in this game 3 is obviously game 1 and game 2 rather contrasting. They had the goaltending efforts of Yeke to kind of rely on in game 1, and in game 2, Fila able to open things up a little bit more and take advantage of some of the opportunities that they earned themselves. It's going to be fun to see how this game 3 goes because, like we said, game 1 and game
to finish it off. So there you have it, Brandon. That's a gorgeous, gorgeous game for Fila as they come out and win and tie this series in the ECL Lite Finals, best of 7.
And it's exactly what Fila needed, Tegan. A great win for them in game 2, a dominant performance nevertheless. And you kind of felt in the first period that this thing was for the taking. It was pretty back and forth and rather even. Mora IK had some opportunities in period 1. I believe it was 6 shots they had on net in the first period alone, and things were pretty back and forth. But Fila, with the 3 goals that they had between the second period and early in the third, it really is what put them over here in this game 2. And going down 2-0, now it's going to be quite the deficit. We saw 1-2-0 comeback already in one of our other division finals, and I don't think Fila was looking to join that club. They will be plenty happy to tie this thing at 1 apiece, go into game 3 with a chance to take the lead going into tomorrow, and Mora IK going to kind of look to replicate more of what they did in game 1 compared to game 2, is this one not as successful for them, especially on the defensive end. So it'll be a lot of fun to see where this game 3 goes. We had a dominant performance from Mora IK in game 1, a dominant performance from Fila Academy in game 2. Game 3 up for the taking, and the winner of that will go up tomorrow 2-1 with an advantage.
That will be a pretty big advantage, and it's gonna say, Brandon, that this game is basically up for grabs. The first game, it was all Mora, and then it's like the coin was flipped, and these teams just traded positions.
And you know, it's interesting because I think a lot of times when you say that the team dominated the game, you really kind of lean towards looking at the shots and the time on attack. But I think the reason that I think you could say Mora really took that game 1 was because of the goaltending and the way they were able to convert on every single chance that came to them. Obviously, Fila had more time on attack, had more shots, and all of that is great. But if you're not able to put the puck in the net, it really doesn't mean much. And unfortunately for them in that game 1, they just weren't able to do that. But you see in game 2, things a completely contrasting story. Fila had opportunities. The quick passes opened up some space, and Yeke, some of the saves that we saw him make in game 1, that just was not there, unfortunately, for Mora IK in game 2. And that is not a shot at all towards Yeke. He was about as good as you could have asked him to have been in game 1, and he played rather well in game 2. Just Fila, they were able to open more opportunities in game 2. And I think a big key, we didn't see many blocked shots for Mora in game 2 either. A lot of clear looks in game 2 for Fila Academy compared to game 1 definitely was a big helping factor for them. So we're tied at 1-1. We go to game 3 coming up, Tegan, and I think you said it yourself. That could be a really big game here for the series to see who can go into tomorrow with that advantage into game 4.
Yeah, this is definitely a swing game here in the series, Brandon, and we're going to swing over and have a word from our sponsors, and we will be right back.
Oispa nakki. Kuoret on. Vaan sellainen, että kuoret on. Pääasia, nakit on.
Wilhelm Werneri, Kuoreton tai kuoret on.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Welcome back, everybody. ECL Lite finals as we're diving through all of them, Brandon. Amazing thank you to our gorgeous sponsors at Wilhelm, Kouvolan Lakritsi, and ST Hockey. We are here at Sports Gamer GG. It is Fila against Mora. It is tied 1-1, and we're going to get into that big swing game number 3 here, Brandon. And you spoke about the blocked shots from Mora and them needing more of it. And I think the checked box there is a hat trick from the D-man, Maestrophy, on why Mora needs to block those shots.
Yeah, and it's interesting that we saw Maestrophy really just kind of go off in that game too, because we kind of mentioned him as a guy to look out for on the offensive end. He had 9 goals coming into the series, and now he has 12. So he's a guy that can contribute on the offensive end just as well as he contributes defensively. And you saw him pinch up a few times to kind of join the rush offensively, and it paid off in dividends there for Fila Academy. But I think for Mora IK, they have to find a way to get into some of those shooting lanes for Fila. It worked for them well in game 1 and game 2. We didn't see as much of that. Some of those opportunities that Yeke didn't see, he saw more in game 2. In Fila, they were able to take advantage of that, resulting to 5 goals in game 2 compared to being shut out in game 1. So this is kind of not the rubber match necessarily, but I think you put it perfectly, Tegan. The swing game. Who's going to be able to take control? A vastly controlled game in game 1 from Mora. The opposite, a contrasting result in game 2 for Fila Academy. This is the one that could very well change the way the series shifts.
And Brandon, why don't we swing over and do some signing up? Why don't you head over to Sports Gamer GG and sign up for this amazing league in the ECL to get your chance to play for bragging rights, Euros, casters, and more in this great league, Brandon. And maybe you can have a spot on Fila or maybe Mora and be getting more attention here in the ECL. So we will dive into ECL Lite Finals game number 2 right away here, Brandon. I think Fila is going to come out swinging.
Yeah, I have to agree. And I think that Mora IK going to look to try to respond and improve on some of the things they weren't able to do in game 2, because obviously I know both of these teams not just wanting to win a championship, but wanting to win some Euros as well. Isn't that right?
Right. Absolutely, as we know how much these guys are going to be winning. Is for first place, Brandon, it is going to be 447 euros. Second place, 298 euros, and of course, there's a bronze matchup for 198 euros as well. So lots on the line here. Fila against Mora, and it is Fila in the dark jerseys, Mora in the light jerseys. Your respective lineups in the bottom left and right hand corners of your screens. As we have Fila going north, Mora going south, and Fila starting with the puck, looking very good, moving that puck around into the offensive zone. It's turned over right back under the stick of Mora as they go and try and get the puck up the right-hand side. It's taken right back. Mikasi tries to get that puck down low. It does find its way to Sorrow. Sorrow behind the goal line, back to the point to Maestrophy. D to D as that one sneaks through. Great save, Yeke. Sorrow comes along the bottom of the circle, trying to find a passing lane out front, but he's going to be stripped of the puck by Mora. And they move it up to Kaudimovic. Over to Andreas. To Bror. He comes in offside, and a big hit and a little teabag there, Brandon.
Yeah, both of these teams, they like to have fun, but Tegan, something that I'm really going to be interested to see is that in both game 1 and 2, the team that scored the first goal really seemed to take the momentum for the rest of the game. It seems like that first goal really can be a teller on how this thing is going to swing. Expect both of these teams to start out really aggressive, trying to get that first mark in this game.
Puck going D to D is going to be intercepted. That's a good play by Mora as they come down. Kaudimovic looks for a saucer pass in front. He was looking for Andreas streaking, but it's going to be held on by Tapu.
And Tapu, he was one of the more underrated stories of that game 2 for Fila Academy. Really played well, made some big saves. Gonna have to once again here as Mora IK going to look to try to really be aggressive and have a little bit more success offensively.
And there's a big goal as Mora comes in. Kaudimovic finds the back of the net.
Mora IK needs no academy, they say, is a nice goal there from Katamovic there to get that one on the wraparound. We talked about that a little bit earlier, team. We've seen a lot of players using that the last few weeks, and it goes to the advantage of Katamovic right there to get the opening goal of this game. Something we talked about maybe being a bit of a teller on who could take the momentum. Well, Mora IK strikes first here in game 3.
That's a big goal for Mora. As we know, when Fila rains, it pours, don't we, Brandon? As that puck's going to be moved out by Fila. Saro on the left-hand side. Good poke check, but Saro takes it right back. Looking back from Mikasi. It ends up back Maestrophi. Back to Mikasi. Mikasi looks for a backhand pass out front, but Yeke holds on. And Mora's got to feel good about that early goal.
Yeah, especially considering how that game 2 went, where it felt like they really didn't have a lot going their way. They scored late in the 3rd period, but it was 5-0 for a pretty good chunk of time. So to be able to get that first goal, really huge for them, especially since they were able to do so in game 1, really took the reins for the rest of that.
Kadimovic throws that one over to the left-hand side. It's going to be poked off at the stick by Mora, but a good job by Amnesia to get it down to Andres. That shot is on by Bror. And look for Bror to show up in this game, Brandon. He was pretty quiet in game number 2. He was very, very demanding in game number 1, so I expect him to show up here.
Yeah, the activity a little bit lighter in game 2 compared to game 1, like you mentioned for Bror. He scored a couple in game 1. The last 2 goals actually that really put Mora IK over the top and led them to that win. Expect him to be pretty active here as Mora up 1-0 in a good position. I think he'll be aggressive and really have a lot to say here as they try to increase their lead.
It was a huge hit in the neutral zone, and I think that is a big play by Mikasi to try and get Fila a little bit of momentum there as we get a neutral zone face-off just outside of Mora territory. And that face-off is going to be won. Bror up to Kadimovic. Kadimovic rings that one in behind the net. It's picked up by Ipana and sent ahead to Mikasi. Good break in here is Fila. Saro wraps that one around. Mikasi out in front of the Rootsy. Tried to force that one in. Mikasi with a shot, but it's taken away here. As a look at how much Mora comes down in front of their goaltender Yeke there, as we'll keep an eye on that there, Brandon. But you had all 5 white jerseys right in front of their goaltender Yeke.
And that's where those blocked shots we said were so big for them come from, when they're able to collapse in front of Yeke, not allow that good look on their great goaltender.
That shot whiffed over the net. Trying to keep that puck in his Mora, and they can't. Saro bringing it in for Fila. Taken right back by Mora, but right back by Fila. Saro again with the puck. He saucers that one through. That's a huge hit on the play. Another big hit in the corner. As we're seeing Bror maybe throw his body around a bit. Here's another monster is hit. Is Mora maybe taking a more aggressive play here, Brandon, is both wingers and Bror and Kadimovic making big hits.
Yeah, Mora IK laying the lumber, and injury as well for Fila Academy, so that's something to look out for.
Puck is going to be poked off behind the net by Mora, and they go up the wing. Big hit there now as the aggression really starting to pour out in this game, Brandon. That one's dumped all the way down. We are going to get an icing and a little dance from Tapu.
Yeah, and I think Fila, they're going to really look to be aggressive. We talked about how that first goal has been so big and really getting control of the momentum, and it feels like in both games 1 and 2, the team that did score that first goal really took that momentum and ran away with it. Mora IK up 1-0, but Fila Academy, if they can tie this thing 1-1, it'll be the first time all series that we've seen a tie that wasn't 0-0. So this next goal could be absolutely huge in being a teller on who wins this game.
Face-off play tried and not successful by Fila. But they're going to get it back in the neutral zone. Maestrophi over to Ipana. Ipana back over to Maestrophi. Good puck movement here. What a move by Fila to get in. And oh, the errant pass. As Rutsa was looking for Saro and couldn't find him. And it's going to be taken the other way. Mora with numbers if they're quick here. Little spin pass over, and Andreas, 2 huge saves by Tapu. And the puck's going to be brought out by Fila, but Brandon, wow, 2 monstrous saves by Tapu for Fila there as we get ourselves to the end of the first.
We said that the next goal was going to be big for Fila Academy. Well, Tapu not allowing Mora IK to increase their lead right there, and absolutely gigantic saves there from Tapu. If Mora IK was able to get that goal and go up 2-0 in the second period, it could have drastically changed the way that the course of this game goes out. Instead, 2 big saves from their goaltender from Tapu. It stays at 1-0, and they go into the second period with that same deficit. And I think Philo Academy, they're going to look to have a little bit more success offensively. Lots of time on attack, but not a lot of shots. Only 1 on 3 minutes and 24 seconds of time on attack. Mora IK, on the other hand, 6 shots on net with a little bit around 1.5 minutes time on attack, a little bit under that, if I am correct. So it's going to be interesting to see how the second period goes in, because right now, Mora IK getting more chances. Philo, a lot of time on attack, but not a lot of opportunities where they've had that same time.
6 shots there for Mora, Brandon. I would say that at least 4 of them were monstrous saves by Tapu, as we are here in game number 3 in the ECL Lite Finals at Sports Gamer GG. Fila against Mora. You see your respective lineups in the bottom left and right-hand corner of your screen. As that puck gets put through, and it's going to be saved by Yeke. Fila in black, Mora in white, Brandon.
Yeah, and we're going to see how Mora looks here. They're going to try to get out of their own zone. Fila looking to get that tying goal. Mora looking to increase their lead by 2. We said it a few times, but I cannot state it enough. This next goal could be absolutely big for whoever scores it. Fila trying to tie it. Mora, they've been great with the lead. We'll see who gets it here, Tegan. Expect both of these teams to really be chomping at the bit.
Couple of good plays in front of the net as Kaudimovic trying to put a backhand in, but Tapu with another routine save by him.
Yeah, you can't say enough about Tapu. He's probably been the best player here for Fila this game, and one of the best players for them in Game 2. He's been huge and a big reason Mora IK haven't been able to get that goal.
Puck down low, Kaudimovic looks for a cut play. Nobody was in front, though, and Fila's just going to swallow that up. He pan over to Tapu. Into the middle to Mikasi. Back over to Maestrofi, who had a hat trick last game. Very impressive by him on the back end. Mikasi over to Maestrofi. He's hit hard on the left-hand side. And that puck's battled for in that left-hand corner. We're going to see a power play here coming to Mora.
And this is going to be big here, as unfortunately for Fila Academy, they take that penalty. I'm not sure what they're going to call there. Maybe a interference. Yeah, it's going to be what it is, an interference on their centerman as well in Mikasi. So not only will Mora IK get the power play, but they're also going to have Fila centerman off the ice, so a bit of an advantage potentially on the faceoffs.
As we get an offensive zone faceoff, it is going to be won by Mora, and they set up. There's Kaudimovic behind the net. Good pass up front. It's there. They score! And it's going to be Andreas in front with a gorgeous passing play. Kaudimovic to Bror, and it popped out front there. Andreas, and he puts it home.
And that is exactly what Mora IK had been searching for. It was a great initial save there by Tapu, but unfortunately that rebound for him went right in front of the net. He couldn't get back in that butterfly position to make that save. Great positioning there by Andreas to be at the right place at the right time and tap that one in on Tapu. And Fila Academy gonna look for some answers now, down 2-0. Mora IK in a great position now here in the middle of the second period.
Puck behind the net is Fila really setting up an urgency push here, as they don't want to lose the swing game, Brandon. As that one's high, Slotty Pana fires, it goes off another block shot, and that's exactly what you said, Brandon. We've seen at least 5 block shots here from Mora in not even half a game yet, and you said that would be the difference, and it's looking that way so far.
And we talked about that one shot on for Fila Academy, and that's a big reason why. It's not that they haven't been shooting the puck. It's Mora Academy getting in front of those shooting lanes and not allowing them to get on that, and that's been so key for them in Game 1. It's been key for them here in Game 3, and it's no ironic situation. Fila gets back in it.
And that is an unfortunate giveaway, as Sorrow picks that up in the slot and absolutely snipes the Eke. No chance for him there. And that is awesome for Fila, as that turns that momentum right around, Brandon.
And that is a very unfortunate turnover for Mora IK when they just scored that second goal minutes ago. They had the momentum on their side, and they let Fila Academy get back in it with that mistake. They take advantage, score one on Teke, and now we're looking at a different game here now, Tegan. Fila back in this thing. We'll see how they look.
Mikasi It's out over to Maestrophi, who brings that puck, and it's going to be taken away. And look at this, we get a chance the other way. Mora comes in, but nothing doing as that one's wrapped back to the point. Here is Bror. Bror turns that one over. We might see a breakaway the other way. Good defense as Amnesia sends that one over. Big hit there at the line by Ipana as Fila is not going to let Mora into their zone easily. And neither is Mora by the looks of things, as here they come. Kaudimovic with a move through the middle, turns that puck over, but it's held into the line. Shot on is blocked and wide. As we're seeing blocks at both ends, fast and furious here, Brandon. That puck's brought in on the left-hand side. Easy entry for Fila, but they turn that over. It's turned right back over to Fila, and there's a tripping call. And, well, the momentum is definitely turned around, Brandon.
Oh, yeah, and Fila Academy couldn't have seen that happen at a better time. Down 2-0, they get that goal off of the Mora IK turnover, capitalize on it, and now they get a power play here as well to potentially tie this thing up. This is huge for Fila Academy. If they can get a second goal here, the momentum completely shifts in their direction with 7:31 to go in the second.
And if Mora can weather the storm here, Brandon, it'll be in good favor for them, but they can't get this puck out. It's given right back by Ipana to Mora, and that one's dumped all the way down the ice. Maestrophi is going to work it out through the middle to Mikasi. Just look at this passing back and forth as Mikasi brings that puck in on the backhand. Comes along bottom circle, sends that one through. It goes all the way through to Yeke. Good thing he was in position on his post, as that one could have slid all the way through, Brandon.
Yeah, and you have to like this penalty kill here from Mora IK, just not allowing Fila to establish in the offensive zone, just shutting them down right at that blue line, using that four-man trap to their advantage, and Fila Academy, no answers for it so far.
Puck is going to be dumped out there by Mora and Maestrophi. Eventually that puck gets in. Zaro tried to send that across for a one-timer as that one got through, but it's going to be steered away by Mora. Mora breaks that puck out. Good puck movement as Kaudimovic comes in. Kaudimovic backdoor intercepted by Maestrophi. And the puck is going to be brought up here. Maestrophi looking to get kind of a breakaway pass there, but it's going to be Roots on the right-hand side. Behind the net to Mikasi. Looks for a mate out front, can't find him, and we see another clap play. It worked before, and oh, he decided not to go backhand with Kaudimovic, Brandon, as he had an open lane, and the goaltender in Tapu stood tall.
And I think Tapu knew exactly what was coming on that one. We saw Mora IK score their third goal in game one on the exact play. He stopped it this time and was able to read that one and stay where he was. Guessed right.
As that was close by Fila. Mora looking to just get out of this period with a one-goal lead as that one's blocked again, Brandon. And I will talk to you about that in the intermission as we round out the second period here in the ECL Lite Finals. Game number 3, Fila against Mora.
And how perfect, Tegan, that we end the second period with a few blocked shots there from Mora IK, and it's something that we talked about after game 2, the big difference in Fila really seeing a little bit more space on the ice and getting more opportunities capitalized on was that Mora IK in game 1, they got in those shooting lanes and blocked a lot of the shots that Fila Academy had on. They had 20 shots on net, and we said it could have easily been 25 or more if some of those blocked shots from Mora IK aren't there. In game 2, the reason that Fila was able to see some more pucks on net and go in was because Mora IK, they were not in those shooting lanes as well as they were in game 1. Now in game 3, they're right back to what they were doing well in that first game, and you can tell it's paying off in dividends for them, up by 1 here in the third period going in.
As we will get into period number 3 here, and Mora doing a very good job of weathering the storm there, Brandon. I am Tegan, it's King Line Blair. He is Brandon B. Major Bigsby. We are here at the Amazing Sports Gamer GG with Philadelphia Academy against Mora. As you see your respective lineups in the bottom left-hand corner and right-hand corner of your screens. This puck is going to be brought out here by Mora in the white jerseys going against Fila in the black. As here's Ipana behind the goal line. Third period, 2-1 here for Mora. And it is the 1-1 series in this best of 7. Puck at the right-hand side. Going to be poked off and back to the defense of Mora as they go through the middle to Andreas. Over to Kaudimovic. Kautimovic comes along the line, back door, and Tabu made a great save. It rebounded right out to Bror, but he couldn't pull the trigger. Puck moved around behind the net. Yeke is just going to hold on to that one. And a great chance at the other end for Mora, Brandon.
Yeah, and that was a big chance for Mora. You know, they are really looking to get back to that 2-goal lead they had in the middle of the second period. Fila trying to tie things up. A chance for them to do that here with this offensive zone face-off. Let's see if they get a play set up if they win it.
Puck going to be moved out into the neutral zone, and it's going to be Mora who comes in. Kautimovic. He gets bumped off the puck. Good job by Fila to take that puck right back. And here they come. Ipana works that up to Rutsa. It's going to be taken away, though. Kautimovic dumps that one into the left-hand corner. Roar throws it behind the net. Mikasi's there in good puck support, and Ipana gets it to Mikasi up through the middle. Back to Ipana. And a good job by Mora to just hold this line tight as they take a tripping penalty, though, Brandon. And they will go to the kill with 13:20 left to go.
And we're right at that halfway point now of the third period, so this is huge for Fila Academy to take advantage of this. Time starting to dwindle, and the more that time goes, the less it will be on their side, and the better things become for Mora IK in terms of their chances of winning this game. So a power play chance for Fila Academy. This is a big opportunity that they'll have to take advantage of. 0-for-1 in this game so far.
Puck is going to be dumped all the way down the ice. That's a good start for Mora, as they can't afford to give one up here. As Fila is a momentum-driven team. As soon as they get one, Brandon, it's like it never stops. As Mikasi sends that one into the left-hand corner. Good job by Mora as they just throw that one all the way down. Rushing on the right-hand side is Kautimovic. Kautimovic being a bit aggressive here on the PK, trying to just get his team out and clean here. They send that one down. Under 30 seconds to go, Brandon. This is a great kill here by Mora. Puck on the right-hand side. Good passing as Ipana brings that puck in. Going to be shot on block by their own player in Mikasi as he picks that one up. Goes over to Roots. A shot on. It's loose. They try and force it in, but they can't get it through Yeke.
Oh, man, you know, Fila Academy, they were hoping that one would squeak in, but the story in the last few minutes, the penalty killing from Mora IK. We talked about how both these teams have been great on the PK all playoffs long. Mora IK with 2 huge penalty kills here in the last couple of periods, not allowing Fila to establish the zone, and it's worked out very well for them to hold this lead.
Puck's going to be clapped all the way down and picked up now by Ipana. And we have under 10 minutes to go here, Brandon, and Fila needs a goal. That puck's going to be out to the neutral zone. They're going to try and reset and go in the right-hand side. Good bump there, and the puck's going to be brought out. Maybe a 2-on-1. Kautimovic comes in. Shot is on. Bror with the rebound, and he misses the net. Another shot and a huge blocker save by Tapu.
If Philadelphia Academy comes back to win this game, remember that sequence right there. It was a great block from the right winger of Fila there in right seat to get there, and then the shot just missed. Had an open net on Tapu. He made the save from where it went. That was huge for Fila Academy.
What a massive blocker save in clutch timing. That one's going to be shot on and wide. Mora just sends it around the boards and up to Kautimovic. Over to Bror. Bror with a step. He couldn't get through. As what a poke by Ipana as this game fires up in the last 10 minutes. Puck into the middle to Mikasi. Mikasi over to Ipana. He's forced to the line by Kautimovic. But it's turned over here to Maestrofi. He walks and fires, and a huge save by Yeke.
We haven't heard his name in a minute, but a big save there by Yeke in the last moments here of this third period. Only up by 1. You know Yeke gonna have to show a big. He does so right there, right at the 5-minute mark.
Face-off is won back and put out into the neutral zone. Clapped all the way down by Mora. Kautimovic on the right-hand side. He just looks to pin it against the wall. Try and slow things down. Bror back to the point. It sails past his defenseman. Puck's going to be played up the boards. Kautimovic into the middle to Andreas. Looking for Bror. Picked up by Maestrofi, who gets it ahead here. And Fila goes to work in front. Yeke with a huge save. It's loose and pulled away. What a huge save as that puck was just sitting there as Yeke stops Mikasi point blank. Maestrofi brings the puck in, turns it over to Kautimovic, who gives it right back to them as here comes Fila. Shot is blocked by their own player, and Kautimovic Sends that one all the way down, and it goes too far for icing with under a minute to go.
And here we go now. It's crunch time for Fila Academy. They get an offensive zone face-off. Remember, we talked about the face-off battle earlier, potentially being something to look out for with the centerman of Fila Academy in Mikasi, having a significantly better save percentage than his opposition in Andreas. Well, Andreas doing a great job on the face-offs in this game. 13 wins for him compared to the 10 for Mikase, and this is going to be a big one right here to see if Fila can get this offensive zone face-off, get a playoff, and potentially get the game time. Look, if they can, it's going to be a lot of fun to see these two teams in overtime because this has been a great back-and-forth game 3 here, Tegan.
As it ever, Brandon, as I'm sad we're not doing more games today, as we will be back tomorrow, an hour earlier than normal to finish up these games, but we got to find a winner here with under a minute to go in game number 3 in the leg finals at Sports Gamer GG. That face-off is won by Mora. Mora doing a good job trying to just get that one down low, but a penalty is going to be taken by Fila.
And that's not what Fila Academy needed by any stretch of the imagination. Having that chance on the offensive zone face-off, it's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. The Mora IK won. It's still a lot of time for you to create a turnover and get something on the other end. And Fila had been so good on the counter, but could not afford to take a penalty right there. Now Mora IK can just play the possession game, let that clock tick down, and take this 2-1 win home if they play their cards.
As Fila is going to try and get some sort of Omaha play, and they do. Puck's picked up in front, and oh, that went right through. As what a play between Sarali and Rutsa back door, but couldn't find him. Now the puck's brought in here, but it's given away. Mora, odd man rush. Here they come, back door. That one goes all the way through. Shot is on tap. Who makes a save, and he squeezes the pads.
That was a great defensive play there, getting back from Fila Academy's defender. I can't tell exactly who it was, but I would love to get another look after this game potentially on that misplay. Went right through Rutsa, didn't connect on it. Would have been a goal if he had that one cleanly on his stick.
Puck goes D to D, and it's going to be brought up here, wrapped around down low. Back to the point is Kaldamovic working with it, as they just look to kill the rest of this period. Shot is on, loose up front, tap it with 2 huge saves. They don't want to give the puck up. Kaldamovic, he does give it away, and it's going to be Sorrow the other way for Fila. Do they have enough time? They don't, and it is going to be Mora, the underdog, coming out winning game 1 and game 3, and taking that big W in the swing game to lead this series 2-1 against Fila Academy.
And we stopped with 59 seconds to go, Tegan, and it was an offensive zone face-off for Fila Academy. It was going to be who won that 59 seconds that took this third period home, whether it would be in overtime, whether it would be a win for Mora IK. And Mora IK won that last 59 seconds, being able to win the defensive zone face-off, drawing the penalty, and then wisely getting some opportunities, but not being too risky throughout. There was that one scare there from Fila Academy where it went through the stick of Rutsa to not be able to capitalize. But aside from that one chance, Mora IK playing that power play perfectly, draining some time, using the possession, knowing they didn't have to score again if they just kept Fila Academy from scoring. They did just that, and they will go into tomorrow up 2-1 in the series in a thrilling 2-1 Game 3 victory.
And stopping Fila from scoring is not an easy task, Brandon, as Fila came out hard there from the back end with Maestrophi getting a hat trick there in game 2. But, you know, it was a great team effort here by Mora right from their back end out to get a W here in game 3, Brandon.
And I think it's the defensive effort that won this game for Mora IK. We said block shots was going to be huge. It was the difference maker for them in this game. The reason Fila not able to get a lot of opportunities compared to game 2 was because they were blocking those lanes. They did it in game 1 as well, and it worked out for them. Mora IK, a great effort, and you added some of the timely saves that their goaltender in Yeke was able to make. A great result from Mora IK, and a great game from Fila Academy as well. Just unfortunately, they were not able to take advantage of some of the opportunities they had with the 2 power plays. Had a chance to maybe get into the offensive zone and get something going in the last minute. And unfortunately, just not able to take advantage of those chances. And they'll go down tomorrow 2-1 in a pivotal game 4. But I think both of these teams, a lot of positives to draw on. And a great 3 games, a great first 3 games of the series that we saw here today.
Yeah, exactly, Brandon. This was a fantastic effort by the underdog in Mora, as they don't have anything to lose against this Fila team. They can come out and put it all on the line, and they definitely did that today.
Yeah, and something you have to keep in mind is for this Fila team, they've been dominant all season. They were number one in the entire ECL Lite division, only lost 2 games all season long. They had a 26-2-0 record. They really ran house through the playoffs aside from that one scare in the quarterfinals, but they still won that in 6 games. So this is a Fila team that's been dominant really from start to finish. They've continued that in the playoffs. And Mora IK just continuing to not necessarily punch above their weight, but maybe surprise some people. I don't think necessarily people expected them to beat the 4 seed in Linköping, expected them to go in and beat the 2 seed in the next round. And they just keep surprising people series after series after series. And it's been so fun to watch this team play with how good they are offensively, the goaltending of Vieke, the way they're able to block shots in those lanes against a team in Fila that really is a dominant team defensively in their own right and has great goaltending as well. So it's been a great series through 3 games. This is about what we expected, and tomorrow we'll get to see even more, and especially in that big game 4 that could really sway the way the rest of this thing goes.
Yeah, as Fila showed, they are a dominant force in game 2. They can come out and put the puck in the back of the net, and they can hold you down. And they definitely did that to Mora in game 2. They're going to look to do that tomorrow, Brandon, is we are going to be back for tomorrow, an hour earlier, as I believe we are starting. So that will be 19, I believe. Is that correct? 19 Central European time to finish off games 4 through 7. And then we might have a little teaser on possibly some quarterfinals coming soon. But we have to get through the ECL Lite finals first. We ran through games 1 through 3, where Mora is leading the series here at 2-1. As we take a look at the playoff tree here, Brandon.
Yeah, and we kind of mentioned just the journey that Mora IK had, and you can see it in a little bit more detail. We talked about them being the 4 seed in Linköping in the quarterfinals and being the 2 seed in Prima Esport, and Fila just a great season all around for them. They're going to hope that that continues on and leads to a championship, but down 2-1, a little bit of maybe adversity here going in the game 4. I guess it just kind of depends on how you view it, but they're going into a situation where they're down in the series, and this game 4 pretty much a must win for them. If you go down 3-1 against a Mora IK team that we know can really put it on, especially on the offensive end, it's going to be a pretty tall mountain and a tall hill for them to have to climb. So the first game here tomorrow, when we go live here around the same time, a little bit before than what we did today, it's going to be a big game here for Fila Academy. They're going to have to come out flying, similar to the way that they did here in game 2. Is if Mora IK goes up 3-1, you have to fancy their chances to take the series home.
You definitely do, Brandon. So we will be back at 19 Central European time, and anytime you can head over to SportsGamer GG and sign up for the ECL and possibly get your chance to play in one of these amazing leagues across the pond, Brandon. As we want to say thank you, obviously, to the great people at SportsGamer behind the scenes, and Guido, and of course everybody else behind the scenes doing an amazing job. Thank you to our sponsors in Wilhelm, Kovalan, Lakritzi, and ST Hockey. I want to thank you, Brandon, for being here. As I am Tegan, it's King Lime Blair. He is Brandon B. Major Bigsby, and catch us tomorrow morning at 19 Central European time to finish off the rest of this amazing series where Mora leads 2-1.